Adoption of electric vehicles, addressing the climate crisis, and supporting domestic manufacturing jobs. These are the crucial components the Joe Biden administration is pursuing as part of its bipartisan infrastructure bill. The bill, which was passed last year, will rebuild crumbling roads and bridges, replace lead pipes, and deliver high-speed internet to every family. These are the things that will change our daily lives for the better. Meanwhile, Pete Buttigieg, Secretary of Transportation, and Jennifer Granholm, she happens to be our Energy Secretary, have joined forces and created the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation. Together, these two secretaries will deploy $7.5 billion from the infrastructure law to build a national network of electric vehicle charging stations, focusing specifically on rural, disadvantaged, and hard-to-reach locations. That is 500,000 charging stations coming to this country. And with commitments to making electrical vehicles already on the boards from General Motors, Ford, Toyota, Volkswagen, Jaguar, and others, it is only a matter of time before EVs become the norm on the road, and the Biden administration is fighting to make sure that America leads the way in EV production, leaving the rest of the world eating our dust. You can watch the rest of that Granholm Buttigieg video right here in just about 10 seconds. Spoiler alert, it's pretty good. And you can get all your midterms and infrastructure talking points, everything you need to convince your friends to vote blue, right here at YouCantBeatBlue.com.
Secretary Pete, I am with one of our great DOT electric vehicles and excited to go pick up a friend who's going to share some news on the future of electric vehicles in this country. There she is. Hey, hop on in. Can't believe they let me drive this thing.
Wish me luck. Just kidding. I know I'm in good hands. Right. Okay, here we go. Yeah. See ya. There we go. All right. So this is exciting that we're going to be able to have a joint office referring to our ability to help local communities roll out electric vehicles.
It makes sense, right? I mean, if the future of driving and that part of transportation is electric, then you can't separate transportation
completely
from energy.
Some of the common fears that people have, of course, is that they're not going to have access to a charger.
Right.
What do you say to that?
Well, that's exactly why we're taking action, and the infrastructure law is so exciting because it allows us to deploy this network of 500,000 chargers so that no one ever has to wonder if they're going out on a longer road trip, if they're going to make it to where they need to be without being stuck. It's not a small thing, right, to put together billions of dollars of support. We've got to make sure every penny of that's well used, which is exactly what our joint office, I think, is going to be doing day in, day out.
Billions and billions of dollars, $7.5 billion for up to 500,000 charging stations across the country. That is just huge. We've got to put them in areas where we know we don't have that concentration of them already, particularly if there's multifamily dwellings,
right.
Folks who don't have garages, apartment buildings, and then in rural areas where there's long distances between stops, potentially, and certainly on freeways. Tell me about your experience of driving this electric vehicle.
It is pretty zippy, actually.
And I notice that as we're driving, people are glancing longingly at the vehicle.
We're turning some heads. Right?
Yeah. And it's not just because it's you in the car, it's because the car is cool.
I think for early adopters, electric vehicles were viewed as a luxury item.
Yes.
But we got to move to where it's accessible, user-friendly, affordable for everybody.
Right, more affordable even than a gas-powered vehicle eventually, right?
Yes, we're headed that way.
Exactly. I mean, that's what the Build Back Better Act is all about, is bringing down the price of the vehicle off the hood when you are at the dealer so that it is comparable to a gas-powered vehicle. I hope the car industry is ready to be able to make all of the vehicles that will be in demand.
Tons of new capacity, new jobs, new facilities.
This president wanting to make sure that we as a country have decided that we want this industry in the United States and that we're not just going to stand idly by and allow other countries to scoop it away from us. We are going to make this stuff here. We're going to put people to work here.
Well, that's why policy matters, right?
Yeah.
EVs in some way, shape, or form are going to happen no matter what, for them to be made in America, for them to happen quickly enough, or be available to everybody.
Yeah.
That's where we come in.
Yay! We made it!
Survive to drive.
All right. So glad to be here with Secretary Buttigieg. So glad to have driven here with Secretary Buttigieg, and all was well. I can report that he is an excellent driver. We are going to work together to deploy electric vehicle charging across the country.
Whether you live in a dense city, whether you live in a rural county, the electric vehicle revolution is for you.
That electric vehicle charging is being enabled by the bipartisan infrastructure law, which has $7.5 billion in it to ensure that every pocket of the nation has access to charging.
We're really excited about what this means in terms of accelerating that all-important transition for our climate, and we're going to continue to work to make sure that it is accessible and affordable to all.